are here to tell you all about geocaching so that you can earn your geocaching badges. So geocaching is really simple. It's a game, just kind of like a treasure hunt game that you play in the woods and cities and stuff like that. It's treasure hunting. So all you need, you will need access to the internet, so either a computer or a smartphone. And then you also need a GPS of some sort, so either the smartphone or a handheld GPS. And that's really the two essential things that you need. It's also helpful to have a pen with you, and then also things to trade in the geocaches. For the geocaching badges, your dog also needs to wear a backpack with the 12 items that are required for the backpacking badge. Alright, so to earn your first geocaching badge, you have to learn about the history, the purpose, and the rules of geocaching. The best way to do this is to go online to geocaching.com and go ahead and make up an account. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And when you get to the main page, you're going to have an option. Not sure how this will show up in a video, but you can read their guide about how to play the game. There's all kinds of different information out there, what geocaching is. There's a worldwide outdoor treasure hunting game, how the game is played. You make up a membership. You're going to go to hide and seek a cache. You're going to type in your zip code, and then a list of geocaches is going to show up. And then you're going to take those geocaching, the coordinates, put them into your GPS, and then let the arrow lead you to the cache. Once you get to the cache, a GPS is about 30 feet accurate. So you're going to start looking around until you find the container. Sign the logbook in the container, and then also come back to your computer when you get home and sign that you found it on your computer. So that's kind of the basic idea of geocaching. Geocaches come in all different sizes. So this would be kind of in between about a small or a regular size. And a lot of times they're covered in camo tape or black tape. These are small caches. Film canisters are common. Also key containers, because they have the magnetic back to them, or matchstick container. And then every once in a while, you'll find a nano cache. So this is a tiny little geocache this big, and it does unscrew and has a tiny little logbook inside. So those are the different sizes of a geocache. Different types of geocaches. There's a handful of different types, but a traditional cache is you're going to get the coordinates from the internet, put them into your GPS, and go and find it. And there's the cache. A multi-cache, you'll get the coordinates from the internet, go find the cache, and it'll typically be like a micro size, and it'll have coordinates that lead to a bigger cache. I know you're fine. I know you're starving. I only feed you 2 meals a day. Alright, so you're going to want to read the website, all kinds of different information out there. Also talks about safety of geocaching. You always want to make sure that you're going with a buddy, or you're going to tell somebody where you're going, and just kind of use common sense about where you should go. But always make sure that somebody knows where you are. Your dog should behave while you go. They shouldn't ever chase wildlife. They should hopefully be on nice loose leash walking. They They shouldn't be getting into trouble at all or making a disturbance like barking as you go geocaching. Make sure that you always have poop bags, which are in your dog's backpack, so that helps. Also, typically for geocaching, it's cache in, trash out, which means that you go in to go find the cache, and you pick up any trash that you see along the way, and you take the trash out with you. You can go ahead and probably find around your house different trade items. Here's the sit. There, right, sit. Okay. So we have all kinds of different things here. Leather keychain, little heart bracelet, little keychain flashlight, a shiny rock, all kinds of stuff that you can put inside of a geocache. And then if you want to take something out of a geocache, you have to put something in of equal or greater value. You also, okay, so to earn the first badge, you have to know how to get the coordinates online. You need to know how to use your GPS. Easiest way is read the manual, but it's pretty, some GPSs are pretty easy to use, some are not so much. This is a Garmin Legend CX, which is really nice. It's got a color screen, easy to see, pretty easy to use because it has a little joystick on the front. You can also use your smartphone and download C::Geo, and it's a free app that also has you that you can look up geocaches too. You have to practice leave no trace principles when you go geocaching. You can go to leavenotrace.org online, and they also have these little cards, but pretty much leave no trace is plan ahead and prepare, travel and camp on durable surfaces, dispose of waste properly, leave what you find, minimize campfire impacts, respect wildlife, be considerate of other visitors. So just be aware of that. They have all kinds of different little cards specific to geocaching or canoeing or hiking or whatnot. This is the generic one. Alright, so the first geocaching badge, you need to find 5 geocaches in at least 3 different locations or parks. You need to include your photos when you're looking to submit your geocache. The easiest way to do this is post them online on like PhotoBucket or Picasa or some type of photo sharing website and label them with the date and the name of the cache. So you'll want 5 geocaches, and then you also have to place a geocache. So the way to place a geocache is to get a container. Peanut butter jar works good. You can make yourself a logbook. So logbook, pencil sharpener, and then also there's a cache note, the print off of the website that kind of explains geocaching, tells people not to move it. So that goes in there, and then any trade items you have. So you can fill it up. Trade items, pretty much anything that's like trinkety works. No food, because animals will find it. And then also everything should be kid appropriate, because kids really like to go geocaching. So like a pocket knife would not be appropriate, or like a lighter would not work. So you put everything in here, seal it up, and then you gotta find a place to put it. You need to have permission of the landowner to place a cache. So typically the best place to do it is on city land, city or county land, and they've given permission for geocachers already. If you're not sure if your city or county will let you place a geocache, make sure that you contact them. But city parks are usually pretty common, stuff like that. You cannot place them in any kind of national parks at all. If it's private property, you just need to get permission to hide it. So you go and you mark down the coordinates that you're at. On my GPS, I have an average button, so it's a little bit more accurate. But you take down those coordinates, and then you go online, you fill out a form, and it goes to a reviewer, and then they'll post it, and people can find it. When you place a cache, your job is to maintain it. So if it goes missing at all, because sometimes geocaches get taken, or with weather, they just get really beat up, or chewed through by mice, it's your job to maintain it and update any kind of status that might be involved. Alright, that is the first geocaching badge. The second geocaching badge, you need to find a total of 20 geocaches in at least 5 different parks or locations. And so that's 15 new caches, because you already found 5 in the first geocaching badge. And then you need to place 5 geocaches. One of them needs to be a specialty cache. So, for example, a theme of responsible pet parenting. Or Zima has a dog-themed cache out there with dog toys in it. And then also you need to find 2 travel bugs. So there's travel bugs. These are travel bugs, or at least this is the tag. It can be attached to anything. And then there's a little code on it. These also count. These are geocoins. And they have a little code that's trackable. So what you do is when you find one of these, and you take it out, you're going to type in the code online and say that you found it, and then you have to put it back in a different cache. Courtesy is to put it in a different cache within 2 weeks. And then this also doesn't count if you take a travel bug. You don't necessarily have to put anything in it because you're just passing it along. But yeah, so these are travel bugs, and for your second geocaching badge you have to find and verify 2 of them, so make sure you get a picture of your dog with the travel bug. And then the last geocaching badge is a total of 50 caches, but 20 of them you've already found, so you need 30 new ones, and you need to do it in 3 different states. And then you have to place a total of 10 geocaches, with 2 of them being specialty caches. So you've already placed 5 and 1 specialty cache. So you just need to place 5 more. And then you have to find and verify at least 5 travel bugs. And then you have to release 3 travel bugs. And you can order these tags on the geocaching website. There's a link to Groundspeak. And then you can order tags on there and release them. In geocoins, you can also buy these in the Stevens Point area where I live. They sell them at the Stevens Point Visitors Bureau. We have a Stevens Point geocoin. And then you also have to host a geocaching event. So I mentioned traditional geocaches and multi-geocaches. There's also geocache events. And what that is that you plan an event, an activity, a day, whatever that might be, and you invite a bunch of geocachers and they all show up. And so Zima last spring hosted it was a Dog Scout geocaching event, and we did all kinds of games and people brought their dogs, and it can be other geocachers, could be people in your Dog Scout troop. The coordinates are posted out for anybody to come to. But yeah, we played some dog games, we did a tracking thing, we did some agility and tricks and stuff like that. And then we did a collection cache. So people brought stuff to put in a geocache, and then after the event we went and hid it. And we happened to have our event on Earth Day, so we had an Earth Day theme with a cache in, trash out theme, and then the geocache that we placed is Zima's Eco Cache. If you have any questions, the website is a great resource. Otherwise, for my troop or anybody outside of my troop, if you want to email me, I can answer questions. But that is the basics of geocaching. Go find a geocache. It's fun. It's a good time.